Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Yo!
It is Pixelbutters here, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Spirit of Justice. When we left off, we are now back in the court of the Chinese system. The
Chinese, yeah.
Yeah, that system, and we got to defend Maya, and she's standing beside us, which is a little weird, but they're letting us slide, so we'll let that slide. And we're now gonna have to deal with the Divination Seance again. I'll have to hope I remember how to do anything, so...
I'm sure it'll... Oh, wait, I didn't read that.
I thought he read it last time. Hang
I
on, I'll do the handy little...
don't...
I'll do the handy little this
I
button
don't
so you can
know.
see the line. There we go.
Now then, your benevolence, a divination seance, if you please.
Very well. Nana, my robe. Jeez.
Thank you, madam. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
She looks like a toodalooer.
Toodaloo.
Oh, Holy Mother,
There she goes.
we hold this divination seance in your name.
I forgot she speaks this.
Yeah.
Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Okay. Whatever you say.
I think whoever, the voice actress that did her voice just now, I think she did Dahlia's voice in the English dub of the anime.
I wouldn't be surprised.
If I remember right.
Because there are a lot of cases where a voice actor will be...
Because her voice sounded familiar.
Yeah, I don't want to say recycled because that's a weird term, but they'll reuse voice actors for different parts when needed. Because, I mean, especially when you've got it under, like, you know, Funimation or Crunchyroll, they have, you know, certain people in-house. They don't have a giant cast. When you have 100 characters, you'll find one person doing 4 different voices in the same show. Especially...
And with this, you got friggin' Ruby vibes going on, just saying.
Yeah. But, especially when you got something like this, where every time you have a case, it's a whole new cast of characters.
Yeah.
Instead of getting, you know, new voice actors every single time, you get similar ones to use in a later point, and they just switch their voice up a little bit, and then you can easily, instead of having to keep finding new people, switch to your next voice actors. Gotta have something to talk about while she's doing this dance again.
It is really cool looking, though.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could skip it like it says down there, but what's the fun in that? She's having fun. Let's not ruin her party. She's over here dancing.
Can you imagine how much practice that takes to get it perfect?
I'd probably took a while.
Especially without getting tangled in that scarf thing.
For real. Where's the blooper? She gets tangled, just falls into the
Trips
pool.
over. Oh, God.
Gets that shy face and runs away.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I meant
All
to do that.
Into the seance. Okay. So let's focus. Bubbles. 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 Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Nemo reference. Okay. Maya doing her thing. Okay, a lantern.
Him doing his thing.
And a lantern. So there's 2 lanterns, so we can use that as a way of locating where he is. Pulls out a paper. That's a paper, all right.
Yep.
Is that the... No, that's not the ladder. There's more folds than there were before.
it's like a ritual
It's one of the
thing.
scrolls. Wind. Okay, that one got blown, so that was the broken lamp. Okay,
Whoa.
and then there's that. Incense, footsteps, pain.
Jeez.
Okay.
That's creepy.
Yeah. So we know their position because that broken lamp is the only one that could have been affected by the wind.
The victim's mitama has spoken. The divination seance is complete.
Great. Another clear and incriminating seance vision. It cannot be any clearer, O foul defense. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim.
Oh, how very terrible it must have been. The figure of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light. The scent of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One can almost sense the horror Abbott in me must have felt.
Hello.
It's so pretty.
Yes, the facts as presented by her benevolence are indisputable.
But that wasn't me. Do something, Nick.
I'm working on it here. That couldn't have been any clearer. Looks like I'm in for another uphill battle.
The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the Purification Rite.
Come to think of it, The Wright's guide explains the multi-part purification rite in detail.
I think my voice makes her sound more like she's 14 than her actual...
It's fine. She never got older.
No.
You're talking about the... Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm saying mine sounds better.
Gotcha. I thought you were talking about Maya for a second. I thought you were saying that her voice sounds too young compared to how she should be. Yes, I was going to agree earlier when she was talking. Her voice is too mature for a 14-year-old girl.
I think this one fits more better.
Better. Yes, it works. Okay. The transformation rite.
She kind of sounds... It's kind of like my Trucy voice, but like pompous.
Yeah. I know what you mean. The high priest reads scripture while the priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the high priest purifies her along with her dagger. The rite of fire. The priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul.
Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates that the high priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, Barbed Head, would you care to object?
Of course, because I know my client is innocent.
So you say. You truly do not know when you are beaten, do you?
Nope. I managed to pull it off last time with Albie. I'll just have to do it again.
This just happens to be a much bigger offense.
Yeah.
You intend to find fault with her benevolence's insight yet again?
Well, when you put it that way...
It would seem lawyers are... Pulkunan creatures indeed.
Look at that Pulkunan! Pulkunan! Pulkunan!
Oh god, that...
What exactly is a Pulkunan?
Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak.
They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth.
So, Barbed Head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave.
Okay.
Insight.
I've got to remember how to do this.
At first I hated her, but now I have like a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll grow on. I'm sure she'll grow as a person and learn to not, just trust in her freaking insights.
She's so cute.
She is. Why can you not just be a little less pretentious?
I know, right? Well, she is a princess. The victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra.
Okay.
As the first part, the transformation rite, ended, he lowered the sutra. Suddenly, he heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed till finally he passed from our world. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments.
Okay, the diagram's been updated.
Sounds like a horrible way to die.
It does.
Like just stabbed and then bleed out in water?
Yeah. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer.
Yo, I just realized how cold that water must have been too, because they were high up.
High up there.
Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me! A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get a chance to put on Lady Kira's robes.
Ah, what a shame you lie. You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the royal priestess's divine insight.
Oh! How did you end up finding contradictions last time?
Well, the deceased final memories include all 5 senses.
Oh, you mean those words that appeared in the Pool of Souls? Looked to me like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim.
Yeah, that's how it looked to me, too. The sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Rafa's insights the last time.
So there could be contradictions between what Abbott and me felt and her insights, huh?
You got it. And I'm going to find them this time, too. Should I check how to point out contradiction Raven's insights? I might need a refresher on that one.
Yeah.
Let me it's been a little bit, so I need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing again.
It's been quite a bit.
Let's check just in case.
It's been quite some time.
Yeah. All right. I can switch between Rafa's insights using these arrows on the touchscreen. The switchies. That's okay. It's the buttons over on the it's the buttons where you point things out where accidentally show something.
That's right. Yeah, you messed up a couple times before.
You have to try and pause and all that stuff. While look for inconsistency between them and the sensations on the upper screen.
It doesn't help that you're using a controller instead of it's like a 3DS or whatever it is.
Yeah. Seance visions can be paused by touching pause L on the touch screen. So you need to remember that that's pause is the left trigger.
Yeah.
I can even jump to different points in the seance vision by moving the baton marker to a different panel by using A or Y. Really weird buttons. The bottom button and the top button to go left and right. That's why I got confused. I remember I tried to go back one, so I hit X because I was like, oh, left. So I hit X and that presented something. So, God,
and that's how we lost a thing, yeah.
Yeah. When I see an insight that doesn't seem right, I should touch select X. Then all I have to do is point out the sensation that contradicts with the insight. The sensations that seem to fluctuate more than the ones from Obby's trial. In which case, I'd better keep an eye on changes in their intensity, too. Okay, so we gotta worry about intensity on this one. So let me look at the victim commanded the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. I don't really see how that'd be anything to go against.
Bow to the lantern.
Yep. And then
bow to the lantern.
Yep, that's the one that's broken later on. First way to end, he lowered the sutra suddenly. That's when it's gonna be. The accused approaching. Because that's how we know the broken lantern. So I'm gonna pause here. You heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his lifeblood spilled over, his vision dimmed, till finally he passed from our world. That's pain. Okay. Didn't really see anything on that one. So, okay, I can skip forward. Okay. So where on earth? The only thing I can think of is the accused approaching.
I see the wind is blowing the.
Yeah.
There's
I guess the
knife.
one thing that throws me off is that the footsteps never get any louder, but the incense.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing I really see that stands out to me.
Yeah.
Is that the footsteps never got more significant to the victim.
That's kind of creepy.
I have no idea. Yeah.
She floated.
I don't know. That doesn't feel right though. You know what I mean? But I can't think of anything. As the first part and the first part of the transfer ended, he lowered the sutra suddenly. So that he heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. As then the victim felt an intense pain. I believe it was when he was stabbed. The spilled over, is dim till finally he passed from our world. I don't really see.
Because incense is so big.
Yeah, but the incense got bigger as they got closer, and as they mentioned this, the incense-laden robe. It's the footprints
the footsteps
just throw me off.
Get
in my opinion, I saved, so I'm gonna try and select the sound. Objection! Maybe. I don't hear any music or anything, so the victim supposedly heard the accused approaching footsteps, but did he really?
What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear?
No, it's not. Because there's something strange about those footsteps.
Strange? Explain yourself, Barbed Head.
The footsteps are strange because they don't get louder.
Yeah.
Thank God I was right. They're not getting any louder.
And why exactly does that matter?
Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger.
Ah!
You. Why, that makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, Your Benevolence?
Well, there must be a reason.
Oh boy. It is as they say, even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. What does that even mean?
He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure.
Still, we cannot discount this information solely on account of its lawyerly source. Your Benevolence, perhaps you must listen more carefully to the abbot's matama. Listen more carefully? What's he talking about?
Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation.
You're gonna update the autopsy report on me? You're gonna update the autopsy report on me, Kiranese style.
Yeah.
Refine the sensation?
I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with the matama.
I didn't know you could do that. Why have we never done this before? By finding a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered.
Because Pain wasn't there to suggest it. Because he couldn't, because he didn't. Oh, blessed Mitama, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call.
Okay. So we're gonna update the autopsy report quick.
Bells?
Footsteps changing to bells? What could this mean?
Bells? But the only bells at the scene of the crime were...
That jingling must have come from Abbot Inme's bells.
You mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of bells was from the High Priest's own footsteps.
Then that means...
He ran towards... Oh, that means he ran towards... If the footsteps belong to the victim himself, it means it was the victim who was moving, not the accused.
Yeah.
Which means he went away from the springs. The victim was the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what our Benevolence's insight would have us believe. Intersection diagram updated. Perfect.
Ooh, this ended up backfiring.
Yeah.
But why would the victim have approached the accused?
Maybe he was trying to defend himself.
Please explain.
He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked.
Ooh.
Objection. Oh no.
Still your voices. This is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that. Be not led astray by this lawyer's obvious postulation.
Objection. While his insolence is inexcusable, I would ask that you calm yourself, Your Benevolence.
Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sadmati?
Even if it was Abbot Inme who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? The accused was likely waiting for the High Priest to approach.
Ah!
And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It is as simple as that. Alright. It really doesn't change much, does it?
Yes, it is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along as well.
Sure. Right. And that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it.
Understand now, lawyer. That contradiction was conjured up as has come to naught. Once I hone my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun.
Okay.
Wow.
Insight revised. The victim behind the previous... okay, so this is switching.
He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the broken lantern.
Oh, is this going to update now too? Oh no, that's staying the same. Okay.
See, the fact that it was Abbot Inme who moved changes nothing.
Come on, Phoenix. You gotta keep your cool. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after Princess Rafa defined her vision. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights. right, look for a change. Let's look for a change here. All right, we got the Maya-ness over here. Look
The
and left.
Maya-ness.
We got the lantern-ness. Look to the right. We got the other lantern-ness. Bow to your sensei.
Oh my god.
All right. Picks up the thing and is like, oh man, I should have learned Kiranese if I've been here for like 60 years or so.
Oh my god.
I'll pretend I know what's going on here. What? I sense it. Okay, wind. That makes sense. Incense, bells, water. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. How do I back up? There was water there for a second. The bells turned into water.
Did it really?
Yeah, which makes this a little more confusing even.
Water, yeah, right there.
Huh.
Why would he hear water?
The only thing I assume from that,
Or feel water, or whatever.
so that means that he moved backwards because he would have moved into the pool because that's the only water source there.
But he was going forward.
Unless he was going backward and the figure came forward more at the same time, maybe? But this would be, this
That
will say
wouldn't-
he rushed the accused, but he didn't because he went backwards? Apparently. Objection!
But at this point,
Hold
that
it.
doesn't really help us.
That'll do something. How do we know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be?
That's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear, and Abbott and me would have adhered to them.
Well, that's strange.
Mr. Wright, would you care to explain just what is so strange?
Yes, I would ask you to reconsider, or to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of bells changed to the sound of water at one point.
What's this?
It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. Oh. Yes. And the only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction.
What contradiction?
I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring and the accused stood right in front of him. But we now know that the victim then moved into the spring.
Pakulka! That is absurd!
This means the accused's location differs from what her benevolence insight indicates.
Ah!
But then how do we explain the broken
Then
lantern?
where do you propose the accused stood once she donned Lady Kira's robes?
Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, the Maya was standing here. I'm gonna save quick, because I don't understand, because it was clear from the site that the broken lantern was on the right side of the victim. So if he was standing at the spring and the victim and the broken lantern was over there where the wind blew, I don't get how it could have been the other way around.
How do we know that was the broken lantern, though?
Because since the lantern was broken, when the wind blew, that's the only one that would have been exposed to air. Because all the other ones are sealed in glass, so their flame wouldn't move. But when the wind blew, the broken lantern's flame blew out because that's exposed since the lantern's broken.
Oh.
That's how we signify where the broken lantern is.
I didn't know they were closed.
So
I thought they were just fancy.
the only wait. Well, no, that wouldn't work either because I was gonna
I
say
thought they were
that
more like torches.
they were surrounded in glass. That's why they have that weird figure on them. Where was Maya? I guess we'll say that Maya was over here. It's the only thing that makes sense in our argument. Yeah. Until this moment, we've all just assumed that Abenemy and Miss Faye were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in this RITE's guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring and the accused in front. However, if that's how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Faye had actually been standing in the water.
But if this is true, then their positions would have been completely reversed.
This doesn't make any sense, though.
What is going on here, Miss Faye? Were you really standing in the spring?
I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the rite.
The High Priest would never make such an obvious blunder during a rite.
What on earth? Is that even possible?
Oh, Putin Nanny.
Whoa. Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights.
It doesn't?
Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what?
So what? This completely reverses their position as what?
That their positions differed from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime.
Oh. I guess you have a point there.
You lawyers are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster. Sounds like Princess Reva has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about.
Oh Maya, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now?
Just saying.
Is this contradiction really meaningless? Or something really doesn't feel right? Did I take a wrong turn somewhere?
I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth.
Insight revised. Alright, so he rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the poolside lantern.
Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it.
What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright?
Nick!
Your Majesty, this lawyer may have raised a trivial objection, but Her Benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind.
Inadequacies?
Inadequacies.
Yes, so it would seem.
Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. A fucking massive one that we are confused by. Still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here.
Sorry, I really don't remember a thing.
Oh, you're useless.
But now that the place I was standing in has changed, who knows? That alone may cause a new discrepancy with Princess Refa's insights.
That's right, we now know that Maya was standing in the spring. A major change like that could very well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the inner sanctum diagram in the court record, and confirm where Maya and Abbot Enemy were standing, and then focus on finding discrepancies between the position and the insight. Fucking lantern is throwing my ass off, dog! Alright, I need to hit A, and then A, because it needs to look at the thing, and then it needs to put it down. Because it's this. Because I don't... Okay, so do I have anything? This is what... Oh my god.
Are you sure
Okay,
there's
so-
glass, though?
Yes! Well, it was there at the thing. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I'm gonna save. But this is the only thing I can really run off of. Is... Now, and I also wonder... Can we point out the lantern? Okay, so we can point out the lantern itself.
Yeah.
So... I'm gonna run off that. Your Benevolence, I found a new contradiction.
You did? No doubt it is but another of your vile attempts to slander my insights.
Nope. Take a good look at what the victim saw. It just might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering.
There is nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred.
No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue.
We're just going in a circle.
Yeah, it's
Why?
weird.
I fail to see your point.
My point is, something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards. Sunday Lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place.
She seems pretty tickled, Nick.
I don't remember saying anything funny.
I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but... Very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see.
Oh boy, here we go again. Gotta update the autopsy report.
Oh, blessed Mintama, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern there.
Alright, what's your update? Is it a shatter? Huh? That lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it?
And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Therefore, there is nothing odd about the flame flickering.
Say what? But when we searched the crime scene, lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, defense. We could not risk them being extinguished even during an investigation. That would never fly back home.
No. Well, Barbed Head, are you done quibbling?
We'll see if I'm done quibbling next time.
Oh, jeez. I don't get... Why did we just go in a circle? Like...
I don't know. We'll
why
find
did
that
we
out
just
next
go in a
time.
circle? It made no sense. It's very confusing. Why?
We
just wasted so much time.
It all has to be for something. As Phoenix said, this can't just be for nothing. It's got to be for something.
I hope it is.
It's going to drive me insane.
It already is, dude.